Hi guys, it's Boyd here from My Little Corner TN. I've been it's Boyd from My Little Corner TN. I've been watching YouTube for a while now, and I decided that I wanted to join. Over the last couple of days, I've been looking at different platforms, trying to figure out what to use to share my screen, and I decided that I just wanted to go live. There's a lot of things that I think takes more than one voice. So I feel like the more voices we have on these platforms speaking out for issues, children, concerns, then the better. So this is my first video. Well, I should say my second video. I have another video out there that is more or less just like a PowerPoint. You're welcome to go look at it. I will make it public in a little bit. It is about Michael and Shirley Gray. Michael and Shirley Gray are two of the most evil people that I think I've ever read about. And it's local to me. I live in Tennessee, and I have friends that work in areas to protect children. And the fact that these 5 children just fell through the cracks really, really upsets me. So I will start at the beginning of the story. Michael and Shirley Gray were originally from Mississippi. They have 2 biological children, Carolyn and Anthony. They moved to Tennessee, specifically in the Halls area of Tennessee, in the late or mid 1990s. Carolyn and Anthony were older then, so they got a 2-story house, which if you go to my slideshow, you can see pictures of. It's a beautiful house. And Anthony and his partner lived upstairs, and Michael and Shirley lived downstairs. They started adopting children. They ended up adopting 5 children. So the 5 children and Michael and Shirley lived downstairs, and Anthony and his partner lived upstairs. Excuse me. During this time, the adopted children, were abused. They were punished for stealing food. I really don't understand how you can punish a child that you adopted and decided that would be your own child and you would care and nurture for them, how you would punish them for stealing food. My children go to the kitchen anytime they want to and get food. That just really devastates me. So Jonathan, one of the children that they adopted, stole food. So they put him in a dog crate in the basement. It's been reported that it was a dog crate, it was a cage, they may have built concrete walls, just different things of that effect. But somehow he was contained. He was only given bread and water. He eventually died to what they're assuming is malnourishment. When Jonathan passed away, they buried him in the backyard of this Hall's house. And I'm talking, it's in a subdivision. It's not out in the country. You've got neighbors on both sides. You've got neighbors behind you. No one saw anything come out of this house. 5 children downstairs being abused. 1 passing away because of the abuse, buried in the backyard. And sometimes their daughter Carolyn, it is reported, would live upstairs of this Hall's house with her children. So you've got families upstairs and families downstairs. You've got 1 kid contained into a dog crate for stealing food. So then the family, well, I should say Michael and Shirley and the 4 remaining children, moved to 10 Mile, Tennessee. I've never been to 10 Mile, Tennessee. I looked it up on Google. I had things I wanted to share with you guys, but I'll figure all of that out later. I just wanted to go live and get my feet wet a little bit because this is a platform and something I want to speak upon. So they moved to 10 Mile, and they had 2 girls and 2 boys that they moved with, that they had adopted in previous years. One of the little girls, Sophie, and the reason we know these children's names is because they were published. I am not telling you anything that you cannot look up. So Sophie was caught stealing food also. They put her downstairs in a dog crate, fed her food and water, and she passed away. They buried her in a flag barn. Not quite sure what that is. I looked it up, and it looks like it may have a roof and sides, but no front door. Not quite sure, but that's where they buried her. And Some people are saying that there was livestock around. I'm not really sure. That's not in any of the court records. But she stole food and was punished by bread, water, and a cage until that took her. So now we have one female and two boys. One of the boys got out of the house and was riding his scooter. Someone passing by, thank goodness, saw him and decided this doesn't look right. So they called authorities. The authorities came and the little boy told them where he lived. After a while, they said he was a little dazed and confused. And they took him home. And when they took him home, they say that the police officers, in one report that I read, called authorities immediately because they were told of a child downstairs, a male boy, who had been down there for approximately 4 to 5 years in a crate or barriered by concrete walls with only bread and water. So the authorities came in immediately from this report that I read and got the little boy. They also got the little boy that was on the scooter and another female child. Well, the judge that I watched the other day said that these kids were amazed by a refrigerator. I just couldn't imagine a 15 or a 16-year-old not knowing what a refrigerator is. You adopted these kids in the early 2000s, and they don't know what a refrigerator is. And they've been in your home. They've been under your care. You're supposed to adopt them and show them and teach them about the world, to show them love. I mean, there's millions of people out there that do not have kids. How these two people were allowed to adopt 5 kids is beyond me. I really don't understand. The other part that I don't understand is these kids were homeschooled. Shirley would go on and fill out paperwork that they were doing their work and that they were on track. These kids were not schooled. The judge said that they had no basic fundamental academics. So we're talking elementary school. I just could not imagine. I couldn't imagine the life that these kids went through. If they stole from the pantry, they got put in cages. Downstairs, where this little boy had been kept for 4 to 5 years, was no running water. He had a bucket to go to the bathroom in. Part of the basement was flooded, and there was exposed wires. One report said there was no electricity downstairs, so I don't know if it was light or dark. I could only imagine, and I don't want to imagine. The other part that gets me about homeschooling not checking on the kids and adoptions not checking on kids is, let me pull it up to make sure I'm quoting it correctly. The Graves drew state payments for the 5 children in their care. They had 3 boys and 2 girls. They never reported Jonathan or Josephine anything happening to them. So they made $3,000 a month through the Department of Child Service Adoption Assistant Program. That's $430,000. And you couldn't let these kids go to the pantry and get something to eat. I don't understand. I don't understand how any of this happened. I don't understand what needs to be changed or what needs to be done. I don't understand any of it. I mean, it was reported that the children were disciplined by placing them in cages and only feeding them bread and water. In 2017, they starved their 11-year-old adoptive daughter, Sophie Heather Gray, to the death for stealing food from the pantry. They buried her in a pole barn on the property. I don't understand, Michael and Shirley Gray. I know that you're arrested, and I hope that justice comes swiftly. Because what you did to these 5 children is not okay. I don't even know if not okay is the word that I'm looking for. It is horrible. It is evil. I cannot believe that you would do something like that. I can't believe any person would do something like that. I don't understand why no one checks up on adopted children. I know there's a lot you go through to be a foster mom or a foster dad. I have family and I have friends that are both foster parents. And I have one that's a foster parent to a 15-year-old, and she had to put electrical covers on her covers so he couldn't harm himself. Well, he's 15. He knows better. But yet we let these 5 kids go to this home where they can't have food. They get locked in cages. There's human feces and dog feces everywhere. If you go look at my slideshow, which I know, yes, is poorly constructed, and I am working on how to do this and how not to sound like a robot when I talk. So please don't send me any messages. I just want the word to get out there that things need to change. I don't know what needs to change to protect our children in foster care and our adopted children, but things need to be changed. 5 adopted children should not go through what they went through. People give up their parental rights so the child can have a better life. These 5 children, bless their hearts. I mean, the 3 surviving children are going to have damage the rest of their life. They already said that there was physical damage and mental damage. I could not imagine. I'm glad that the person that passed by said something, and I think that's what we need more of. And I get so tired of hearing, stay in your lane, or not my monkey, not my circus. Yes, it is. Children are everybody's monkeys and circuses. If I see something, I'm going to say something. And I think everybody should. I am so thankful for the person that drove by and saw that. Now I hope justice is served because the 3 of them are in jail. Michael and Shirley are in jail, and their son Anthony is in jail because they think he had knowledge. There was a report, supposedly he was asking in text messages if he needed to put all 5 of the children, excuse me, if he needed to put all 5 of the children on a census report because he wasn't sure if the IRS and the census talked to each other. Well, he knew what happened to poor Jonathan. So why? I really just don't understand. And I know DCS workers are overworked and underpaid. I know they need more money. And I know a lot of them took that job because they wanted to make a difference and help. But I also know that when you have a caseload so heavy that you can't get anything done, that things need to change. I'm not sure how they change, but I am being a voice to help get things changed. I'm not only doing YouTube, I am also going places, I'm emailing, I am making phone calls. Things need to change for our children. Things need to change for a lot of people. But this is the first one I wanted to talk about was Michael and Shirley because they are evil. I do not understand how they can be so evil. Well, thank you for listening to me about my soapbox about Michael and Shirley Gray. Now, in some upcoming videos, I am going to talk about Summer Wells. Summer has played a big hole in my heart for about a year. It's almost been 365 days. I am going to her vigil next week. Not quite sure which one I'm going to, but I'm going to go to one of them. Because I believe the more people that gather, the more voices will be heard. I don't care about the drama. I don't care about the YouTube reporters, creators, or whoever. I don't care about cornbread mafia, whatever you want to call it. I just want people to start banding together to be voices for children. We've got to speak up. The children can't speak, so we need to speak up. We need more laws or policies or something in effect, and we need people paid more so we can make sure that those are being followed. Things should not happen. Kids should not wander off and not be found. Kids should not be adopted and then abused. Kids are not disposable. That is one of my go-to things. Kids are not disposable. Well, like I said, I'm Boyd with my little corner TN. And yes, I feel like I've been on a rant for about 15 minutes. And I promise you my videos will get better. I am just learning. But I wanted to get my voice out there. I feel like if we're silent, then things keep happening. If we speak up, hopefully they'll stop. Children need to be protected and loved. Thank you guys. Bye.